morning, may I present to you a video from Project Nigel. That's me, and this video is going to be all about Eric is now my daily driver, and the intention is it's going to be my daily driver for the month, and within that month I intend on making this car nicer and much more like the kind of thing that somebody would want to buy. And so let's get started. Quick recap of what's happened so far. Eric was brought down here for me by a chap up there. I have opened up the bonnet and fixed a particular coolant leak, so now you can see it has coolant and remains having coolant. I have pulled out the majority of the big kick dent from the side, and it's had some different wheels placed upon it, which, as I'm sure you'll agree, do kind of suit it a bit more. You don't have to agree, of course. Anyway, that's by the by, because there are other things that need to be done. Those things are as follows. It needs a jolly good wash, and then many a paint rectification session started with scratches and things all over the place, and the paint itself is rather swirly. I could do with finding another aerial, because that one, as you can see, has come off. On the inside it is still a bit dirty. I haven't vacuumed it yet, and because it's damp I've even had to put these bits of carpet in place because there's bits of damp things on the seat. The boot doesn't open from the fob, so that needs sorting. I can open it from the inside, of course. It's probably due an oil service. Around the front of the car we see some very cloudy headlamps indeed. I can fix those. And then, of course, the main issue is this big dent here. It's a proper dent, that, isn't it? And it's a dent that won't just pull out. And it's rusty as well. So, every reason to fix that. As you may well know, of course, Rover 25 wings are few and far between these days. You can buy them brand new, but I like second-hand stuff. Besides that, what's the point in having all these parts here unless I'm going to use the parts I have? That's my way of doing things. So, if I look hard enough, can I find a Rover 25 wing? The answer is yes, I can. But it's not quite as straightforward as that, because as you can see, it's a Streetwise wing. Or is it? No, it's not. It's a 25 wing with the Streetwise trim hot riveted on. It doesn't matter because it's the same thing anyway. It just means I have some holes to contend with, as well as drilling out some hot rivets. There we go, so this wing is now un-Streetwise. But of course it is left with holes. Oh, and that one's not come out. That I need to pull out with some pliers. Yeah, so holes that need to be filled. The obvious solution to me seems to be to put a tiny bit of metal behind the hole and just tack weld it on, and then fill the outside. But I'm not going to do that today, because I suspect someone's going to say to me, no, don't do that, it's not a good idea. Now you could say, well, why not just get a replacement brand new wing where you don't have to mess around with stuff like that? Let's even forget that I've got the budget behind me to just buy whatever I want. Where's the fun in that? I like to fix things. I get a real sense of achievement out of fixing things, because I'm not naturally any good at it. Now, I see a problem here. I neglected to film this bit, so there's a bit of a continuity issue, but I did actually get that Mondeo wing out and cut some little sections of metal off of it. Small one that I wasn't expecting. These bits of metal off the Mondeo wing there are about twice the gauge of the Rover. You see that? Strange, eh? That means, of course, I am twice as likely to blow a hole in the Streetwise Rover 25 wing. So it really isn't a good idea for me to do this, is it? But the trouble is, this is about learning. This is about experimentation. And this is also about making videos as well as making Eric more idyllic. Right, there we go, that's my first attempt. It doesn't need to be tacked on that much, but have I ruined the other side? Definitely not. See, this was a good idea after all. I did go for the easiest one and the most accessible one to go for first, but that's not the point. I made it stick there and I haven't ruined it, so I am actually learning something here. Next time I should scrape the paint off before I cut it off actually. Oh, that's working quite well that though. I'm getting a nice clean metal. I am genuinely quite pleased with myself now. I've done all 4 of them and I've not blown a hole in the metal at all. They're not massive. Go on, coach. They're not massively tidy around the back, but it doesn't really matter because that's on the bit that you'll never see. Oh, hang on. Somewhere amongst my array of disorganized tools, I have like a high-speed thingy, like a like a Dremel type thing. It's not called a Dremel. This one is from Aldi, but it works. It's effective, isn't it? So it's a little pouch thing that it's in, and I can't find it anywhere. I can't find it, and so that's annoying because it's just what I need at the moment. As I keep looking in the places where I expect it not to be, then I found this. I'm sure I was looked up here the other day. This is exactly what I needed just a few days back, and I could not find that anywhere. Anyway, as I can't find my pretend Dremel thing, having to go to the traditional way of doing this with some wire wool. It's a bit slow going, but you get there in the end. The next step is some filler. But I've just realised that this is the wrong stuff. This is fiberglass reinforced, which is more like what I should have used for the back of these. In fact, that is exactly the stuff for that job that I didn't use, and the wrong job for these tiny little holes that are left over. I need the other stuff for that. So I won't be going any further with this particular job for today. Now, if you're anything like me, you'll be reasonably tall with a beard. And I have done that joke before because I remember, and it wasn't even mine, I copied it off Stephen Fry. But the point I was about to get to before I rudely interrupted myself was that if you are anything like me, you will dislike having a dirty car. Yeah, and even more than that, horrible faded headlamps like these. Low quality plastic items that didn't last anywhere near as long as the old ones did. Should I make a point? 2003, just a bit cloudy. 1000, not cloudy at all. Although I do suspect this car has spent most of its life in a garage. 1994, crystal clear. Although of course that's made of glass. 2005, as cloudy as Jeremy Clarkson's judgment. So you can probably tell what I'm about to do next. And if you're thinking I'm going to wash the car and then clean the headlamps, then well done, you're correct. I've given an awful lot away, awful lot of clues there as to what was coming next, so yeah, don't congratulate yourself too much. Even a quick wash makes all the difference, doesn't it? Eh? That's a question from me to you, because I'm sure you agree. A quick wash makes a grubby car look really, am I going to say that? A quick wash makes a grubby car look better? That's quite redundant. Anyway, now it has been washed, I can see better, again, the marks that need dealing with. I actually forgot about this arch. So, when I get some equipment, that looks solid to me, so I'm going to rub that back and have a go of painting it in the correct colour. Now, trust me, I will do a better job of this than you anticipate. At least I anticipate doing a better job of this than what you think I probably will do. Yeah, right, well, I've actually got to do it to prove that, haven't I? So hopefully that will be one of those jobs to do within the next couple of weeks. I know what you're thinking. You're thinking I was waving at somebody I don't even know. One better than that, there wasn't even anybody there. So should I do the old before and after job? Shut up. Should I do the old before and after jobby? Which one's worse? This one or that one? I'm going to do this one. Yes. Time for a time-lapse segment, I think, now. Because we don't want anything, what we don't really want is anything dragging on anywhere, spending too long on one particular part of a scene. That wouldn't do. Right. And now that's as far as I can get today because I've got to go. But that does look not perfect, but much better than that one. Well, it's been a great day. It's also been a very short day because it's Sunday. Sundays are short. Sundays aren't shorter than any other day, but I have less time at work to do Sunday things, and I've barely got started, as you've seen. So, hope that's not too disappointing. Which is best? That'll be a video. The plan is firm with Eric. I like this car, but I'm not going to get attached to it. It's not a car that really does it for me. I like the diesel, but anyway, so, right, what I like, of course, is the R8 and the 45, and I've got a 25. Although I am very, very impressed by its fuel economy. It seems to cost about half the amount to run as something like Nigel does. So that's very impressive indeed. But the facelift model, of course, the plan being, of course, carry on doing minor jobs on it, make it look much more respectable, whilst getting myself some content, and then ensuring that this car goes on to somebody who will look after it. Job done. Goal achieved. That means that I also then have to ensure that I have another car to replace it with. That won't be difficult. I've got cars knocking about, but which one? I would quite like the R8. But failing that, I have got Alfie, and that is a superb car. And I've always got Nigel. Anyway, off the point again there, aren't I? The plan will be this car will go up for sale, or at least be available for sale, from about the 25th of February. So that is 20 days or something like that. I don't even know what date it is. I think it might be the 5th. And in the meantime, I'll be doing some work on Vaughan. Must contact Vaughan actually.